All right, welcome everybody. Hey, thanks for coming to the session, Informatica, and how we're going to help you achieve your blueprint ambitions here. I know we've been hearing a lot about it. Just before I start though, how many folks are Informatica customers in here? Anybody? Wow, great. Thank you guys, thank you all, and thanks for coming to this. We've been big supporters of Tableau for quite a while, and excited now with the rollout of Blueprint. So I'm Doug Louie. I'm Director of Product Marketing at Informatica. With me, we've got Sue Sipos, Senior Regional Manager, and also Darren Bykoff, who manages, he's our Director for our Strategic Ecosystems. We're going to do a little tag team presentation here to keep it lively because I know you don't want to hear me all day long. So, but we'll keep it interesting. What I want to do is talk a little bit about Blueprint. We've been hearing about it at TC last couple of days. And for the folks who don't know Informatica, just a quick brief intro on who we are. And then more importantly, I'll have Sue come up and really give you kind of some deeper insight into how Informatica fits into the whole Blueprint and how we're gonna help you achieve kind of rolling out Blueprint in your organizations. And then Darren's gonna come up and give you a great demo of our data catalog and how that ties into one of the first steps of rolling out Blueprint. First question for folks, who wants to be a superhero here? Right there, first hand up, here you go. Yeah, that was you. We're all wrestling with data, and you want to be a superhero in your organization, right? It's challenging to manage that data and to make it useful for the company to really get value out of it. But we all know, data is really one of the lifeblood for the company. And everybody should have seen this by now, right? The blueprint diagram. It's about how do you get your data and make it useful, right? It's about getting that data so you can trust it, right? The data, without data being clean and usable, it's not going to be very effective. How are you going to govern that data, right? These are all major elements of, the blueprint of how you're going to, make that data useful in your organization. So let me talk a little bit about Informatica and how we kind of, might fit into that picture, right? As we all know, becoming a data-driven organization has really become the mantra for a lot of companies today. And some of the things you hear, you talk to some of our customers, and you start hearing things like, data is the fuel, or it's the center of the universe for us, or it's the gold, it's what's driving our digital transformation, and you realize, data is critical. It's really the most important asset that companies have, and managing that becomes critical. And with all that management of the data, you have the challenges of, managing where that data sits, right? Most companies are adopting the cloud, a cloud strategy, and they're approaching, on average, 5 different clouds with their multi-cloud strategies. They're seeing the adoption of the customer experience driving the marketing organization, right? What do they want to do to try to get closer to their customers? And then obviously with self-service, right? That's one big reason we're here with Tableau, right? It's how do we empower our users to kind of get to the data and make it useful for themselves? And that's leading to the development in a lot of organizations of a chief data officer responsibility and role kind of emerging out there. But the challenge is these CDOs are still challenged with trying to find out where is all that data. They don't know where it is in the organization. It's all over the place, and it's hard to get your arms around it. And part of that challenge is, the current stats are showing that, the data in your organizations are basically doubling in size every 12 to 18 months. You've got new users coming in every day. Everybody's bringing in all new types of data. You've got mobile data, IoT data, data from all these different systems coming in, more so than you've ever had before. And obviously, data's going to the cloud, right? We all know that. And then you've got machine learning and AI kind of on top of that, all driving and mixing that data up. And that's really where Informatica comes in, right? We really come in, and we are really at the center of all that. We are the leaders in the enterprise cloud data management movement. We've developed solutions really across the whole spectrum that as it pertains to your data. And we've been doing this for quite a while. But just don't take our word for it. I think one of the best validations we've received, Gartner's been covering this space for a while, and for all 5 data magic quadrants, luckily, we're very proud to be leaders in every single one of them, whether it's in enterprise iPaaS, data quality, metadata management, master data management, or even data integration. Informatica is luckily, a leader in every single one. And not only are we leaders, it's a little hard to see, but we're actually the top right in every single one of these. So we've been setting the standard in everything data management related, for many years now, and have been glad to do that. And I think one of the things that helps us do is, not only are we best of breed in each individual solution, but we've been able to integrate it into a single platform to make it easier for companies like you really to leverage that data. And because of that success, over the last 25 years, we've been lucky to kind of grow to over 9,000 customers that have been able to leverage our platform. Oops, let me go back to that. And take advantage of Informatica. So at this point, what I want to do is bring Sue Sipos up here and kind of go a little deeper into how does Informatica really fit into Blueprint. And one of the great things about Sue is, Sue just joined Informatica recently, but before coming over to Informatica, Sue actually was head of professional services at Tableau for the last 5 years. So she knows a little bit about Tableau customers and some of the challenges. And now that she's in Informatica, can really see where things tie in very well. So you go. Thanks.
Yeah, so how does Informatica, Blueprint, and Tableau all fit together? Calm down over there. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. So when you think about our intellectual data platform and how how Informatica's platform fits together, it's really a suite of a full platform capability that takes you from data source, whatever that data source is, through the lineage of transforming your data, getting it ready for self-serve analytics. That's the beauty of this capability. The one thing I really want to highlight on this picture here, there's a technology called Claire that's built into all of the Informatica platform. That is our artificial intelligence tool that sits embedded into our product line. So when you think about AI and you think about machine learning, it's there for you in Informatica completely. You don't buy it separately, you don't buy it in a separate add-on. It's actually connected into your programs and what you're doing in that space. So we cover from multi-cloud, big data, real-time streaming of data, and then of course your traditional data sources like your Oracles and Teradatas and things like that. So how do you accelerate the blueprint here? Think about your data source management. How do you look at data quality across multiple data sources? Enrichment and preparation of your data. How do you make that data real and relative? Looking at data security. Who should have access to the right data at what, where, and how in the organization? We all face this challenge of democratized data. However, we need to govern data to make sure that we have access capability that maps to the policies of the corporation. Your metadata management, getting to that golden record of capability, monitoring and management of that solution as well. So I'm going to take you through a couple things here that will showcase our technologies. Okay, so data source management. So you look at the intellectual cloud services. So bringing together all kinds of data sources in your cloud system, on-prem, off-prem, in the cloud, off the cloud, wherever your data is, this brings this all together. It sounds like a big feat to cover. Does anybody have that problem? Just 2 of you? How many don't want to admit they have that problem, right? And how many of you don't know you have that problem, but you will know that problem in 6 months? So a common occurrence that's going on everywhere. So this is a way to really wrangle this data set in massive ways at the enterprise level to really bring forward that capability of managing the data component. And then the enterprise data catalog is the opportunity to actually catalog that data into sets that's actually business friendly and business user friendly for that source. And we're going to talk about that and see that in the Tableau world in a little bit. Okay, so we talked about a lot about data. I'm not going to read these all off to you, but I want to know how many of you have all of these data sets that you're working on today? Okay, how about you have 5 of them? Okay, good. And about 3? Good. Anybody just have one data source? All right, good. I'm glad to hear that. We've progressed in the world. So this is the world of data, right? I mean, data is everywhere. Social data, Facebook data, internet. Twitter has become a platform of business. How's that, right? And how do you capture that data to understand how your business is being purviewed by the community at large, right? You have machine data, data lakes everywhere, your IoT data. There's data everywhere and everywhere that we can think about. So all these capabilities are part of the equation. And I'm sure in the next year, we'll have 2 or 3 more data sources that we've never thought about. And that's coming very quickly for us as well. Okay, I'm going to show you a little bit about how, here we go, how BT is using our platforms and capabilities. So a telecommunications company, they have over 1 million customers. They've been able to streamline their decision-making capabilities and unifying reporting using the platform of choice here. And they replaced a 2-week manual process to do automatically daily feeds for self-serve analytics and capabilities. That is pretty exciting. That is transforming the way companies can operate and function and make decisions on their data sets and their business. Data quality, finding out how your data is actually good. You know, you have garbage data in various fields. Forget about social media data. There's all sorts of challenges there. So building out that capability for trusted data that's actually unified to your standards and your policy. At Rabobank, they are the leader in architectural financing and sustainable banking. They were able to centralize quality and eliminate service delays and capabilities going forward. They achieved 80% of consumer self-serve analytics in banking. 80%. It's pretty significant. And here, enrichment and preparation. So you have the enterprise data prep. So finding your data sources in multiple ways and capabilities to bring it forward. Fixing that data set and prepping it to your standards. We're talking about the enterprise data. We're not talking about a subset of data that you may have using for your financial reporting. Is data across all of the platforms to do this prep against. And then your master data management, looking at how do you get to your golden record of your customer data or your supplier data and managing that across your systems worldwide. And then bringing forward data as a service to bring that data to your users to actually make the business reporting and capability. So at Avis, global provider, of course you know who Avis is, they have 650,000 cars of fleet that they deal with in a unified way on a global basis. They were able to use Informatica solutions on AWS and were able to operationalize their data sets and capability and was able to really track their vehicles in real time. So where is a car, where is it at, where is it going to be, and what's the real-time evaluation of where the car and fleet is. Data security, so secured scores are our data security capability. So policy management across your data sets is utilizing this. And then your data masking for those areas where you need to hide your information, whether it's healthcare or financial information, social security information. How do you mask your data for the reasons that you need to do going forward? So at Independence here, we actually were able to serve up 8 million people nationwide, and they were, so they needed to do a safeguard for health information across 8.3 million insured protected customers. And they were able to de-identify all that data set in a single way by demasking that data at the enterprise level to actually serve that into the reporting and analytics. Metadata management. This is really where the fun stuff comes. So how do you bring your enterprise data catalog and data governance to the enterprise at large? So all those business users that are sitting in finance or HR or in your sales team or in your supplier area, this is where this journey of this data set becomes real and valuable to making those data sets and capabilities. So here at AIA, this is a Singapore-based company. They were able to use the data governance capability to actually get the lineage and components of their data, and really were able to get to decision-making very, very quickly on unified data policies and definitions at the corporate level. So when they said, what does sales include? Everybody was on the same terminology, the same data source for what sales means. We've all been there where you try to count sales. How about, did you ever try to count headcount in your company? Yeah, can you get an answer? No. Well, this is where this comes into play, right? You take all your data capabilities of counts of HR or counts of sales and unify across the board. So it's really bringing the capability of data insights at a much corporate higher level for the impact of using it. So when you hear Doug say data is gold or data is the new oil, it absolutely is, because now you can tap that data in a way that companies have never been able to do so before. And then with the blueprint capability and Tableau self-service analytics, it's a natural fit so that you can actually do your self-serve analytics with it. Monitoring, so data source, we talked about this. I'm just going to go into Merck's, who was really able to transform their container shipping and ports and talk about a massive logistics challenge of capability here. They were really fully integrate our entire platform from beginning to end and really able to get to data analytics and modernize their data world of where they're heading and moving forward. So pretty fantastic. So I wanted to really bring you back to the transformation of how Informatica really builds into the blueprint model. When you think about the full platform of services, from cloud services to master data management, and how that trusted and governed content across multiple data sets, multiple capabilities, regardless of where the source of the data is, and at volumes of data sets, this is your source for that and supports this model phenomenally. So I want to introduce Darren now. He's our Tableau partner here who's going to help us out and talk about a demo here to actually show you the output of this. Thanks, Darren.
Thanks. Okay. I'm just going to switch over my screen so that I can see a little better here. There we go. Okay. So Tableau and this is loud. Tableau and Informatica. We've got a couple of hundred customers. We've already gone through some of them that Sue was talking about. Happy to talk about any others at our booth if you want. And we've got customers in all of the different verticals. So this is a demo. Tableau has the concept of APIs or extensions. They're hooks, right? And so what we've done is we've taken our cataloging functions and utilized the Tableau extensions, those APIs, so that we can now run our cataloging functions inside of Tableau. So it's a nice, easy, and an elegant way for Tableau users to be able to find their data assets in the organization without ever leaving the Tableau environment. So you can see here, this is a Tableau report. We've got a quarterly sales report here, and you can obviously see the Informatica icon on the right-hand side of the screen. When I click on that icon, out launches the cataloging functions within our product. Now, since this is a sales report, we're going to look at a couple of data sets here. Let's take a look at the sales data set. Our product, our enterprise data catalog functions has an AI engine built in. We call it Claire. Claire is taking a look at all of the sales data in my organization, and it's coming back and it tells me that there are two related data sets that have sales data. The first one is account. Let's take a look at account. We all know Tableau is an absolutely beautiful window to data. And when, like a window in our house, when the weather's nice, we're gonna have a beautiful view. But if the weather's nasty out, we're gonna have a pretty ugly view looking out of the house. Well, the same thing with Tableau, right? We wanna make sure that we have good data that we're bringing into Tableau to visualize. So you could see here that in this particular data set, only 3 people here on top have rated this, and they've only given it 1.5 stars. If I take a look at this to figure out why did this data set only get 1.5 stars, you can take a look at the reviews. So there's some nice collaboration functionality in this, which allows users of the data to provide reviews. And you can see here, Maria Garcia wrote, "The data quality is poor," and found the source not to be reliable. She only gave it 1 star. James Smith here wrote, "This is not the right data set." Okay, so obviously this is giving me a bit of pause. I don't want to bring in poor data into my Tableau report. So I'm going to hit the back button, and let's take a peek at the second data set, Account Master here. So when I click on Account Master, this looks a lot better. I see 62 people have rated this data set. They've given it 4.5 stars. when I take a peek at the reviews on this particular data set, you can see that Janet Cho wrote that the data seems comprehensive and accurate. She gave it 4 stars. And Lisa Resnick said the account master table seems to have the right data set, or the right data for her analysis. And she gave it 5 stars. So this, to me, seems like a much better data set. So what we're going to do is, I'm going to click next on the provision button. And what's going to happen is we're going to go out to these 2 disparate data sources. And this is sales data. So we're going to be pulling data from Salesforce and Marketo. And what's going to happen is our ETL engine is going to go out to those 2 data sources. It's going to bring the data in. We're going to do the sorting, the joining, and all the aggregation. And then it's going to pump that data seamlessly into Tableau Hyper without ever leaving Tableau. So I hit the provision button, and that's what's going on right now. And you can see here, now we've just added a brand new data set into Tableau without ever leaving the Tableau environment. All right?